Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to do some common E46 problem repairs. We're going to start by taking the door panel off of this. I'm going to show you step by step how to take all these cover pieces off, to review all the screws, get this off so you can service the window regulator, which will break eventually, possibly your power mirror, door handle cable that'll go bad, or just replacing a broken door glass. So let's get started. We'll pull this off, get some up close views here where all the screws are located, and go from there. Okay, first we're going to start with this top little piece of trim right here. They're either wood grain or silver, or possibly gold on your car. Use a plastic pry tool here. A metal screwdriver will chip these little edges here, so this is probably important to use that. Start at one end, slowly wiggle it out. Set that aside. Next, we're going to get the mirror switch out. There's one screw right behind there. I use a little flathead here. It's hard to get behind with the pry tool itself. Just one connector behind there. And then underneath these are these little plastic screw covers. Two of them here. This is pretty much the same procedure with the coupe and the convertible as well, and the touring. Okay, here's a close view of the screws. There's one, two behind the panel. There's one behind the mirror switch. And then there's one there. And one there under the armrest of the panel. They're Torx 20s. Now we're going to unscrew those. Now we're just going to pry. Around the door panel with our pry tool. Release all the push pins. You gotta lift it up over the lock rod. And I'm gonna reach behind here. There's a cable that hooks this handle in here. I'm gonna reach behind that, pull that off, and pull the harness for the mirror switch through. Now there's gonna be a connector for this speaker and this speaker. I'm gonna reach behind and get those. And the wiring harness is connected to the back of the panel. You can just pull those out. I'm going to show you. This cable for the handle clips right in the back of the handle here. Power mirror connector wire goes right through there. Speaker, and then your other speaker right there. And this is that harness. And now you're going to see side airbag, mirror memory module, and there's two Torx 20s there to take off that, and the two 10mm bolts here to take this airbag off. I'm sorry, three 10mm bolts, and then one connector. Once you have this off and that off, you could peel off this insulator right here, which we're going to do, and then you'll be able to see the window regulator and access everything at that point on the inside of the door. And also when you're removing an airbag, always disconnect your negative battery cable, which we did already. Now you'll see this insulator, and this is just kind of stuck on the door here. So wherever you can start grabbing and pulling back, there's a good chance it's gonna rip here. They almost always do. But just take your time and work around the edges here. Okay, now you can see the insides of the door here. Here you can see the motor, and then there are the window regulator bolts here at the bottom. So the first thing to do is actually, if you want to service your window regulator, if it broke, you're going to have to somehow, if it's completely snapped off, you're going to have to slide this glass down to these access points here to unbolt. It's an 8mm bolt on either side that pinch the window glass to hold it in place. We're going to power this one down and show you where it is and get the door glass out before we pull the window regulator. Okay, now that we have the window down, that we can access that 8mm bolt through this access hole here and this little slot here, go ahead and remove those. Use a little magnet on the back of a screwdriver, small screwdriver, to pull that out so you don't lose it. Set it aside. If anything falls down, you can grab it right at the bottom of the door here. It'll be easy to access. Okay, at this point, at the bottom here, there's a little release tab. You can push on that. It's on the regulator where the glass sits. There's orange plastic in there. You just release that, and now you can pull the glass. I'm going to pull it up and out of the door and set it aside. These are the plastic release tabs that get clamped onto by the regulator, and the bolts go through there. Now there's a series of 10mm here for the regulator. Bottom, top. Another one here around the motor area. Then one more at the bottom. And then there's a little cable retaining clip here for for the regulator, just push that through. Now you can see it moving around a little bit. I'll just kind of pull this back one out and down. Here there is a little zip tie. Just going to release it. Now pull this down. And out. There's our window regulator. And it's common for the cable inside of here to break. So you'll hear the motor moving and your glass won't move, or the glass will fall down. It's totally an E46 thing. They all do it front, rear. So at some point, if you're an E46 owner or working on one, this is going to happen. Okay, now we're going to show you how to remove the rear view mirror. First, we're going to move this trim piece here on the side of the door here. There's just two little clips that hold this in. You just get behind here. That one popped out. And then that'll peel off around the weather strip. And then there's one clip right there. And now you can see where there's a tweeter speaker here and the insulator. Pull that off. And now you're going to see 3 Torx 30 bolts that hold this in here. And now we're going to just remove those. One actually holds the tweeter and the other one's kind of behind it. Just loosen those up. Before we take them all the way out, we want to unhook the mirror from the actual module here. We'll unhook those, push that in, slide that back. Same thing here, push it in, slide that back. We'll release those connectors. The module out of the way. Free the harness from the door here. What I always do is make sure the connector on the mirror harness is closed, because it sometimes will break off when you're trying to pull it through here. So now we're going to remove the bolts, get the tweeter speaker off. And then the last mirror bolt. Make sure you hold onto the side mirror so it doesn't fall down. And then just wiggle the mirror. It'll come right off. Just guide the harness through here. And that's it for taking the mirror off. Okay, now we're going to address the exterior door handle removal. We're going to start by going on the inside here. There's this plastic cap here. You're going to pull this inside out. I already have it kind of slid out. And then I normally take this other piece out as well. Inside of there, you're going to be able to see a 4mm Allen head bolt, which will release that handle cap here. And at that point, we'll be able to remove this exterior part. So let's remove that right now. Okay, now with that end cap removed, if you look all the way inside, there's a Torx 10 bolt. You want to loosen that up, and then that will remove that exterior part of the handle. And then there will be another Torx 20 in there to release it from the outside. Let's Let's do that now. These gaskets will come off too. Revealing that Torx bolt. And now you can actually push this forward. And now we'll pull it out from the inside of the door. Okay, now with the door open, if you look inside, you can see the handle cable pressed against the actual exterior door skin. We're gonna move this black piece here. There's just one little clip at the bottom. You just slide it forward. And here comes the handle. And I'll show you, this is the cable that goes from the exterior door handle, runs all the way up into the door latch, which shuts and opens the door from the outside. This cable sometimes breaks. So if you have issues from pretty much 2001 to 06, these cables are usually the culprit if your door handle breaks from the outside. So now we're just gonna get the latch assembly out as well and show you what that looks like. And then this is the actual inside door handle, which releases the car from the inside, both hooking up to this door latch right in here, which we're gonna remove right now. Okay, you can see here there's 3 Torx 30 bolts here, which we're gonna remove. And now we can slide the latch down and over. There's one connector here for the lock actuator. We'll pull that out and take a look at that. And I'll get it on the bench here and show you how it functions. Okay, so here you go. This is on the bench here. The door lock latch assembly with a door lock actuator, which is that connector feeds there. And then your interior door handle release cable that goes to the inside of your door handle. And then your exterior door handle release cable that goes to your exterior door handle. So if you have any issues with that, you can see exactly how that functions there. Now, 2000 back to 99 don't have this cable. They have a totally different style, but they only had it from 99 to 2000. And then they switched over to this cable style. So that's it. That's a complete door disassembly on an E46 BMW. As you can see, that's with everything out and the door glass out, the speaker and the side mirror out there. And then if you want to just continue to remove it, there's one connector there with an 8mm bolt, holds that rubber insulator in there. And then you have 2 13mm at the top, 2 13mm nuts at the bottom. And then you can just pull the door right off. Thanks for watching.